Welcome back to my author's journey. I'm Nicholas Adams, and I am an author. Today we'll be talking more about Zanthia. I was going to just talk about the Avians, but I want to talk about Zanthia as a whole. So when Adonai created the world, this is all, of course, pre-book 1 Zanthia. When Adonai created the world, there was one landmass. And when he created that landmass, he filled it with animals, vegetation, all that. You know, the regular creation story. But he also created beings of high intelligence, dragons, griffins, phoenix, and Avians. And in this landmass, he placed a part of his power to dwell there, but it was forbidden to be touched. And it's kind of like the forbidden tree in Genesis, or in the Bible. So, the forbidden fruit, tree of knowledge. This is all to give the Avians, dragons, griffins, phoenix choice, of course. You're not supposed to touch it. You're not supposed to use it. And I want you to listen to me, but you do have free will. So, of course, the Avians spread out, built cities, and they prospered. And they interacted with the dragons, griffins, and phoenix, and everything was good. They were able to speak to each other through their minds because, you know, it's kind of weird having a dragon speak, moving their mouth and stuff. So I chose the route of using their mind to speak to each other instead of voice, which I kind of liked. Everything was fine in the beginning, and then there was this one Avian, and his name was Nero. And I picked that name because it breaks down to meaning evil. So I kind of like the name Nero. He wanted more in life. He got tired of the day-to-day things that they did, which was just live freely and happily. And I guess he got tired of that. Some people just want more. And I'm not going to say why this all happened, because that would spoil some stuff in the later books. But pretty much what he did was he went and stole power from the power that Adonai left resting in the world. And that power comes in the shape of a big orb, nice big orb. So basically what he did was he stole Adonai's power, the part of the power that he left in the world. And with his power, he was able to create whatever he wanted to in his mind. And it also made him stronger, faster than most of the other Avians, well, all the other Avians really. And he began recruiting other Avians, dragons, griffins, and phoenixes to his side because he wanted to rule. Big war breaks out. Of course, the good guys win. The Avians, dragons, griffins, and phoenixes that sided with Nero and Nero himself were all displaced down south. Adonai broke up the one landmass, and there was now 3 different continents. Solus was to the south. That's where all the bad guys went. Aviwa to the left, or I guess I should west, and that's where the Avians stayed. And then there was Zanthia to the right, east, and that is where Adonai would eventually create humans. Nero and his followers, the other dragons, griffins, phoenix, and Avians that followed him, went to Solus, and that's where they were pretty much, their punishment was, you're going to Solus, and it's a harsh land now. So the Avians and Nero were disfigured and cursed by Adonai. So whereas they used to look like Avians, they were now Krazul, and they have a dirty yellow pigmentation. They're still tall. They bulked up though. They're muscular. So they're still quite the specimen. Still stronger and all that stuff than humans would be. But they are hideous in a way. I mean, they're grotesque, monstrous creatures. Sharp razor teeth. They look like monsters pretty much. And the Avians, while the Avians are still beautiful, they have a purplish skin. Think, if you're a comic fan, think of Blink from the X-Men. Skin tone, a little darker than that. Well, sometimes I guess she has purple skin, right? I believe I remember that right. But yeah, it's purplish skin, tall, lean, muscular but lean. So I would say toned instead of bulk for the Avians. So they're quite contrasting to what they used to be, the Kruzul. So that was a punishment for them, was their disfiguration and being outcast to a harsh land. So the Avians are now in Aviwa to the west, and they are protecting Adonai's power from Nero and his gang who constantly tried to steal it. So fast forward to the humans being created in the landmass to the east, which is Zanthia. Okay, and in the beginning of the creation of the humans in Zanthia, they interacted also with the dragons, griffins, and phoenix and Avians that would fly over to their continent. So they were in contact with them, and they learned the stories of the Kruzul and all that. But after a while, you know, the humans became unruly also, and the Avians, griffins, phoenixes, and dragons, you know, they kind of just left them to their vices, because they would stay over there in Zanthia with them, some of them. And after the Avians started, you know, warring with each other and everything, the Avians, dragons, griffins, and phoenixes, they left, because on the inside they were past wars. Now the only reason they fought the Kruzul was to protect Adonai's power, but pretty much all of the Avians were more peaceful, and the humans were becoming less peaceful. So they were out of there. Like, we got to get up out of here before y'all start enticing us to do the same. Because there were wars, but there was 7 wars between the humans. And I talked up a little bit about that in my previous video. And the dragons, griffins, and phoenixes and the Avians, they couldn't get with the program. They couldn't get with it, so they had to leave. They left. So generation after generation, you know, those 4 beings kind of became myth to the humans after so long. And then boom, Zanthia. So if you want to know more, of course, you can always go check out my books. They are on Amazon. Zanthia, Zanthia the Shadowed Army, and Zanthia Adonai's War. It is my trilogy, and the trilogy's name really is Adonai's Prophecy, but it's my Zanthia series. So that's what I usually call it. You can look it up as Adonai's Prophecy, Zanthia, or you could just type in my name, Nicholas Adams, Nicklous, spelled a little different. And of course, I'll have all that information down below in the description. But that's it for today. I definitely appreciate y'all listening to me ramble on about my world that I love. And if y'all check it out, awesome. Make sure you leave a review on Amazon. If you do, I definitely appreciate that. And also, I'll have my other information down below, because I have a blog. So my blog is short stories and poems, stuff like that, romance and fantasy. So y'all can check that out. If y'all aren't specifically fantasy readers, there's some romance on there also. So y'all check that out. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. All my stuff will be, again, at the bottom. And I definitely appreciate y'all stopping by and listening to me. As always, be breezy.